Hello and welcome to another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman, and I'm joined by my usual cohorts, the Professor Russ Stevens, Uncle Joe McLaughlin, and he's JP's first son, Tim. We have a great show for you today. So, boys, let's get it started. We have to start with the Boston Red Sox. We go on summer break last week, and damn if they haven't lost since. 10-game winning streak. Nobody could have seen this coming. We always start with the Professor
Oh,
Russ Stevens. Russ, this team, we had them dead and buried at 42 and 45, showed no life. We thought Cora would get fired at the All-Star break, and then they beat the Nationals. Then they beat the Rockies. And then they sweep the Rays at home. Oh my gosh. What is this team? Who is this team coming at the All-Star break?
Well, we're going to find out in the next, 9 games
Yeah.
or 12 games. They played three tough teams in 12, nine tough games in 12. And we'll know. I mean, they beat up on some bad teams. They got going against some bad teams and they went in, they swept the Rays. So that's a
Who's a
good
good
team.
team? Who's a good team?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good team. So this isn't, as Joe says, it's not like they've been playing nothing but the little sisters of the poor, but um, they're going to have to prove it against the mettle of the league, and it's a perfect time, right? Because it leads up to the trade deadline. They play well for the next week or so, and let's go, load it up.
Timmy, it's not a coincidence that Roman Anthony comes on the team and they start winning.
um, Drake May doesn't play for the Red Sox.
No, he doesn't.
Wait, the Rockies and the
Good.
Senators are absolute cupcakes, right?
The Nationals, but yes,
The
yes,
Nationals,
in
the
the
Nationals.
70s they were, yeah.
I mean, like I looked at the standings; they're like the worst of the worst, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, you have
Oh,
the
it always
major,
matters,
you have to
Scotty.
play, you have to
Well,
play your
no,
schedule.
I'm not going to take. I'll take a little bit away from what happened. That helped build the momentum going into the Rays. It helped build it. Winning's contagious. They got to feel like they can win. I think that had a lot to do with it. That it helped them build their confidence. Confidence has a lot to do with any sport, I think. And if you're feeling good in the locker room, things go good. Those cupcakes that they played, they had success, and I think that built into when they played the Rays.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. Joe, look, these guys are major league players. You play your schedule. We always talk about playing 700 ball against the crappy teams and 500 ball against the tough teams. And they did that in the 10-game winning streak, but they beat them tough the shitty teams, and that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh yeah, and go 500 against the good teams. Well, now we're going to see the good teams. We got three first place teams in a row: the Cubbies in Chicago, the Phillies in Philly, and then we get the Dodgers here. All three; those are the three first place teams in the National League, and we're going to see each of them, and that'll show you. Sure, if they go 6-3, oh hallelujah, raise
Yeah,
the flag.
absolutely.
Bye
What's going
bye
to
bye.
frustrate?
If you
You know,
go 2-7, hey, you can't make it. You can't. It's better
what's
to
pissing me
know.
off is how few games are in Boston in July. I mean, we play a million games here in March and April or whatever, April and the crappy weather, and then
I know,
we're in
but
the most beautiful weather to play in Boston, and like they're out of town, like
I know
most of the
that's
time.
great. I never thought about this.
I'm looking at what tickets are coming up. I'm like, I don't have a game until August. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Russell, what changed? What changed to create this 10-game winning streak?
Um, well, I think there's some intangible stuff. You could really sort of say once they absorbed the Devers trade, it was addition by subtraction. I think it lifted a Paul off the team, and Cora could just probably be himself. But guys, it always come back to starting pitching. I mean,
Mm,
Crochet's been amazing.
always.
Bayo's been really good. Giolito's been a complete
Yes.
revelation.
Yeah.
And you've been piecing it together with Fitz, and even you got a decent start from Bueller. So I think it really comes down to these guys started pitching really well. And then the big question will be, and I'm sure we'll talk about the trade deadline at some point, is like, can you count on that? Can you count on Bayo and Giolito from here? And I have an opinion on that, but I think that's what changed.
Is Crochet the most important pitcher in this town? since Josh Beckett.
Maybe so, but in this 10-game winning streak, he pitched pretty poorly.
No,
Wait, did he have a one? Did he have a one to
Sure,
nothing?
one
Did he have
nothing
a
Yeah, the
shutout.
great one against the Rays.
He had a one to nothing
Yeah.
win, right?
Yeah.
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 I mean,
That's pretty good.
look, at no point, and Joe, you watch all the games, at no point did Crochet pitch shitty. And he hasn't done that at all. He has been
Well, the Rockies
incredible.
kind of banged him around there.
Look at his statistics. The guy's the best pitcher in
Yeah.
baseball. And what did they do? They gave up prospects.
My God, what a freaking steal that was. I mean, this guy's a stud.
Yeah, they didn't give away any superstars when they gave away Teal, Montgomery, Wickerman, Gonzalez, and then that Meredith. They didn't give
Well,
He's
away.
totally-
You're the
A guy
draft
like
pick guy.
that-
Montgomery
a guy-
was their first round draft pick, and Teal was their first round draft pick.
A guy like that is like a bar of gold in this league, right? I
Yeah.
mean, you're
Oh, yeah.
searching, you're
Right.
drafting 15 pitchers just to possibly get something close to him, right? And give it to the general manager for going out and getting him. I mean,
In football terms, this was a quarterback. Crochet was a quarterback. They gave up 2 firsts,
And 2
a
seconds.
third, and a fifth.
what you do, you'd give twice that to get one.
Right,
Tom Brady was worth 10 first round draft
Right.
picks.
Russell? Would you say that's the same,
Yep.
similar if it was a football
Yeah,
game?
number one starter, rock solid young one, number one starter. Yeah, I think he's critically important. I'm not worried about Crochet. I mean, Crochet is going to probably be this the rest of the year. I just don't know that. As we've always said, guys usually become the back of their baseball card, and Bayo's baseball card doesn't have a lot on it, so it's
Yeah.
possible like he's figured it out.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm not
Giolito's got a lot of entries in the back of his baseball card. So
Bale worries me, man. He seems very volatile. Like if things start going his way, I'm just going back to that Red Sox documentary they did. This guy has a bad inning. He loses his marbles.
although not this year, it hasn't been. He's
Well,
calmed down.
we're
I
not
mean,
in the
he's-
clubhouse watching what goes on behind the scenes like we were in that documentary.
Yeah. Well, he's one thing he's better at this year. If one pitch isn't working so much, he doesn't keep trying to force it and keep getting himself into 3-0 situations. He'll just go to his other. He'll go to the fastball. He'll go to the changeup.
Look, he's maturing in front of our very eyes. He's a young
He's
guy.
learning to pitch a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's a young guy, and there's a reason they signed him to that big deal, because they could see in the future. They thought, and this is the guy they thought they were going to get.
But I'm still not confident in him going up against a real good lineup in LA, New York. A good solid lineup.
Well, look, obviously the guy's pitched very well recently, and Giolito.
Oh yeah, I'm not taking anything from him.
Yeah, I mean, look, 6-3 would be incredible. 5-4 would be very good. It really doesn't matter, guys, if you win the division anymore. It just get into the wild card, and it's 2 out of 3 now. It's not just one game.
You can see this team's building. It's improving. From the shit shows that we have watched the last few years, which were just like. You just couldn't even watch them. You didn't want to go. You didn't want to watch. It was nothing but frustration. Even if this doesn't continue, I do have confidence they're building something here.
Yeah. Do we?
Oh, you got to be. Look at the 3 guys we sent to the All-Star game. All 3 weren't on the team last year. They were all added this year. All 3. And Narvaez should have been there too. So you can say 4 guys were added that were all-star caliber.
Yep. Look, I mean, do we owe Russell? Do we owe Breslow an apology?
Not yet.
Some do.
Can I actually wait until this trade deadline? Like I'm not serious.
I wanted
I'm
Devers
serious
traded
about this.
just so you know.
Yeah.
Like, they've got to do something. They're in the mix. They got to do something in this deadline. They have plenty of money. They have plenty of prospects still, and they have tradable pieces on the major league roster.
Yeah.
And so if they middle it or try to take a half measure again, no, I'm not going to apologize for Breslow. I'm not. Either
But
he
do you
doesn't have
think
enough
there's
truck.
anything available out there, Russ? Is what
Of
my
course, Joe,
Oh,
there's always something available. Always. You just
All
have
right,
to go
but
get it.
my thing with that, making a big move at the deadline. Will this team win the World Series? It's
It could.
whatever.
not
They
likely.
But
could.
I'm
They
not.
could.
I am not giving away the future for this year, though.
They're
I'm
not
not.
gonna. They're
I'm
not
not
gonna.
giving away. I'm not giving away
They
some
don't
like.
have to, like Russ just said. They got plenty of dough and plenty of prospects. They got lots to
Yeah.
shop with.
What I'm saying is, I'm not giving away one of my top 5 prospects to get a guy
They're
right now.
not doing
To
that
get
either,
to get a
Jeff.
back of the bullpen guy.
To get
I
to
agree.
get a guy whose contract expires at the end of
Oh,
the year.
would you give up the password? Like, let's get down to it. Would you give up the password and Duran for Joe Ryan, who's a number 2, number 3 starter type, and he's under your
Well,
control for
yeah,
two more
Russ,
years?
number
I
4,
would give
number
up
5
Durant.
starter type. If you,
Durant is expendable right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
What we have in the outfield, Durant's expendable right now. I'm talking about giving up a top prospect, someone who could really help this team the next couple of years.
They're not going to do
For a
that.
guy with an expiring contract, I'm
They're
not
not
doing
going
it.
to do that.
I
What
think
they should.
Durant is great bait, but somebody who's contending isn't going to give up somebody good to us for Durant, are they?
because they
Unless
need
they
him.
unless they get that
Because
whole. Oh yeah,
no,
if they need
Well, I
an
don't,
outfielder, maybe,
Russ,
right?
to that your proposed trade. I don't think Minnesota wants Duran. They've got 3 of they have 3 top outfield
okay.
prospects
My point is
in
like if it's
Major League
not Joe,
Baseball's
if
top
it's not
50.
right, but if it's not like my point is like, would you give up Jaron Duran
For Native
and the
Baldy.
password for a number 2, number 3 starter type?
Yeah, who's
Native Baldy,
controlled?
let's
Yes, yes,
yeah.
who's
Yeah,
controlled?
Evaldi,
you do
could we
that,
get him?
right?
Is Evaldi on the market? Could he be had?
Yeah, but you don't need to trade Duran for Evaldi. Evaldi's 35 years old.
Yeah.
But
And
he's how's
actually,
he
has
looking? How's he looking?
he's
He's looked very good.
I would
Yeah.
love Evaldi. I would take Evaldi in a heart. He's
Well,
proven he
he
can
would
do it
only
here.
be he'd be like a Bueller Giolito type contract type situation.
no, he has 2 years left,
It's 2 years left.
and like close to $60 million.
Is that this year and next year or 2 years?
No,
after
2 years
this?
after this.
I'm a big Evaldi fan.
Oh, I would take. Oh, Evaldi's going to pitch to 40 plus. I mean, he's just one of these big Texans. These guys last forever. I would take Evaldi in a second, and I'd give you a pretty good prospect, not top 5, Timmy, but I'd give you something pretty good for him.
Would you give? Would you think they would do Evaldi for Durant straight up?
No, I don't think they would have to do that. Like Russell.
I think you can save Durant for the offseason and get a bigger package for him.
Yeah,
I think a prospect would get you Evaldi.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
Pitching
Oh.
it would have to be a pitching prospect, and when it can't be Toll or Fitz.
Do you want to know what Evaldi's ERA is this year?
Lord.
1.58.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm signing up. Yeah.
Okay, maybe the 5th prospect I'd give up.
Look, I think, would you guys agree with me? He drafted like 5,000 pitchers again this draft. I think he did that because I think he knows he's going to move some young pitching prospects in trades.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
10 of the 13 he drafted last year, they've evaluated and think
Yeah.
aren't going to.
Well, and the
Gonna
other
make
thing is, guys, it's all I don't know the names, but there's just a bunch of guys who are going to be Rule 5 eligible
Yeah.
in the system. So it's like my point, just sort of generalizing, because I don't know exactly. None of us know exactly which pitchers are available. Like, to me, if you don't get a guy who could conceivably be a number 3 starter, a good number 3 starter at least the rest of this year, you're not serious.
Right.
You're not being serious,
Right.
right?
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
someone that you can depend on as a number 3 starter.
That's right.
Because
That's
right now, if Giolito or Bayo nail down that number 2, good for them. But I'm not positive that they will continue what they're doing right now.
So
I'd be shocked.
they need a first baseman. We need a first baseman very badly, a legit
Yep.
guy. To me, first baseman you can pick up in the deadline as a salary dump. The teams that
Mhm.
are part of it or small market teams will more than happy to give you their overpriced first baseman for nothing. And that's where I feel like the first base position should be filled. Would you guys agree?
Yes. You should be able to pick up, you'll laugh, but like you should be able to pick up a Mitch Moreland type who could
Yeah.
platoon with Gonzalez, because Toro's turning into a pumpkin before our eyes. He hasn't hit in a
Right.
month, and he's terrible defensively. He got Hunter Dobbins to blow his ACL because he couldn't make a normal throw to first base, right? So you got to get a left-handed hitting first baseman who could platoon with Rami.
So Russell
We were
named
able to pick them up, the Doug Mankiewicz's, the Steve Pierce's.
always.
Exactly.
Always been able to, guys, teams get tired of having a guy that hits 220, but he hits 30 home runs. We'll take that.
Russell named his daughter his middle name after Carlton Fisk. I'm pretty sure if he had a third child
Pudge.
right now, it would be Mitch Moreland Stevens, even if it was a girl.
It would. No, it would be two bags.
Yeah.
2 bags.
Mitchie two bags.
3 2-sacks.
Michelina.
Yeah, exactly.
Chubaga.
Oh, we've got to get those two together, Mitchie two bags and Russell. Oh my God, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but
Lots of baby oil. Lots of baby oil.
But don't you think that's what we need? We need the left
Yeah.
hand.
You need a
guy.
You need a platoon, and you need a starter. You need a platoon at first base, and you should get a reliever.
You're almost
And-
making it sound too easy to get that first baseman. Is it that easy?
Those guys are a dime a
Mitchie,
dozen.
They grabbed and he hit doubles forever. Steve Pierce was the World Series MVP for
Yeah.
goals.
and we
And
gave
no one
away
knows
nothing
him
for those
2 years
guys.
now.
Nothing. Yeah, you just give them a fourth level prospect that were ready to be cut, or like a Rule 5 guy.
Well,
Absolutely.
hopefully that massive staff of pencil neck geeks over at Fenway are scouring the books right now
Okay, but
for what's going to come our way.
All right, look, Breslow screwed up royally the deadline deals last year. That was pathetic. But short of that, Breslow really hasn't made many mistakes? Would you guys agree?
Well, like I said, we're going in the right direction. I think he's taking us in the right direction. Is how I feel. The big feeling. Like I always go back to that Patriots when Bledsoe started doing well. That feeling, like we're moving forward. We're not going backwards. We're not stagnant. We're going forward. That's how I feel.
But he didn't.
He's been very good in his evaluation of his acquisitions.
I think so.
He's been excellent in that. I would like to see more, but what he has done has been, far above that average. Excellent, actually.
Look, what I said before the season started, if Story could stay healthy and he could give you 20-80, then you guys we'd be in really good shape. And if he stays healthy, he's actually going to hit those numbers.
Yeah.
It may not be pretty at times, but you can't ignore the numbers.
So here's one for you, and I've heard his name mentioned. Carlos Santana, first baseman for Cleveland, 11 home runs, 41 RBI. He's got an expiring contract, and that's a dime a dozen first baseman. That's a guy you should be able to go get.
Yeah,
and Cleveland's going nowhere.
3 games under 5.
They've been hot and heavy in the Durant talks. The Guardians with that for the closer and others.
No, I don't.
So, there you go.
Don't get a closer and think he's going to be your 8th inning guy. That has never worked once.
It's
in the
never
history
worked.
of the Red Sox.
Yeah.
If you
Get an 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
Get an 8th inning
Right.
guy. Exactly. That's right. Would we agree? Chapman has been a revelation.
Oh, and give him
Yeah.
credit for coming in as the 8th inning guy a couple of times when the 3, 4, 5 hitters were coming up. He came in the 8th inning and took care of business.
Chapman's Koji. He's Koji. He's automatic every time.
He's got it going. He's really cooking right now.
He's so much fun to watch. I don't want them trading Chapman. I want them re-upping him 2 years. I want him to finish his career here. If you look at the guy,
the king of extension.
I'll tell you, he looks like he's 30 years old right now.
He's huge. Yeah,
He's a big human.
He's a big cat.
He is a big dude, man.
Oh my
He's
God.
imposing. He is very imposing.
Uh, would you agree, Russell, that you got to you can't Chapman needs to be your closer next year? Well, I don't know why would you screw around with that?
Well, it depends on the thing we know about closers though is they're like goalies. They vary from year to year. So let's be careful. Like you
Yeah.
give Chapman a 3-year contract and he might say victory lap time,
No, not three.
So
Even Mariano Rivera fell off the cliff all of a sudden.
yeah. So I'm
But
no, I don't you can the biggest issue to me, guys, is they've had a lot of guys, a lot of their depth starting pitching has come off the board, right? Hauk has been terrible. Yeah, they're talking about making him a reliever. Dobbins is out for the year.
Crawford,
And
Crawford.
Crawford is out for the
Yeah.
year. And this guy, Kid Harrison, who they got in the Devers trade, has got a 5.5 ERA down in Worcester now. Maybe he starts to pitch better, but they're not gonna do well or make the playoffs even if they don't bring in it's everything is just a pitcher at this point.
Yeah, because
And
when you
all-
get Bueller and Fitz pitching, you're in trouble.
And it's got to be a starter too. The bullpen has been holding up all right. Weiss's been a bum lately, but he's about the only one.
But look,
and all- and
That
all-
new
and
guy
all-
they got in the Devers trade has been fine. The one that throws 100 there.
yeah, I know.
He's your eighth inning guy.
Well, I don't know about that.
And-
Expect
it always comes down to the pitching. You see when you get to the playoffs, it's the pitching.
Yeah. I mean, look, because there's an extra wild card game, a lot more teams are going to think that they still have a chance, or of course they can't, give it up for the fan base. So you are going to have to pay more. But they're loaded right now with prospects, loaded, and you just drafted a bunch of guys, so people have to go. Players have to leave the system, whether you
They
like
gotta
it
create
or
Oh
not.
yeah, Yoshi came back, so now you got like 5 or 6, outfielders. And like Russ said earlier, you got the password down there. He's going to want to come up sooner or later, and so you got a glut, and you may as well get something for them before they walk for nothing.
Is it possible the Devers trade? Is it possible the results are in, Joe? Is the results in for the Devers trade and we won it?
Well, I thought so right at the time. Just to get rid of him, to get anything for him was a big plus.
Yeah, I mean, I remember Russell saying we'd have to give a bunch just to get somebody to take his contract.
Yep.
Russ,
Yeah.
I used that line in an argument with several people since then. They were saying, I'm glad Devers is gone, but we could have got so much more. I said, look at his contract, man. He's got to be, what does it go to? He's 40 years old, right?
Like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, imagine him
Yeah.
at 38, my God, and you're paying him all that money to eat burritos in the locker room. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's already become a problem. He's saying his back hurts.
Yeah, the fact that we didn't have to give anything, we actually got a bag of balls back for him, and didn't have to give. We thought we had to give Durant to somebody just to have them take Devers, right, in that contract.
Yeah.
The guy they got, Tibbs, was drafted one spot after Montgomery. So I mean, this guy's a legitimate prospect. I mean, this guy's not a bum there.
I read Chris Cotillo in Mass Live today, and he was talking about trade deadline stuff. And I've heard this too, like this argument, like, oh, you don't want to trade Duran because the clubhouse culture and blah, blah, blah. You know what ruins clubhouse culture? When the guy who's supposed to be your second starter gets hammered 4 straight times.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what helps clubhouse culture? You get a third starter or a second starter who pitches well 4 out of every 5 times. I'm not worried about Jaron Duran ruining clubhouse culture if he's
No.
traded.
Yeah.
Look,
Please.
I want this Joe Ryan, Joe Ryan, excuse me, Joe Ryan.
Joe Ryan.
I want Joe Ryan because he reminds me of the Mike Boddicker move when we made that in '88. All of a sudden, you fit a guy in, a second starter, and next thing you know, it changed how you looked during the course of the week because you knew you had Boddicker there and he was going to give you a quality start.
Well, we see it with the domino effect, Scotty, with pitching, right? Everyone is able to move into a more comfortable slot,
But also, you're not exhausting your bullpen. And we've seen in this last 10 games, they've been able to set their bullpen up each time because these starting pitching is going deep.
Yeah. Then you go 6 innings. Guy comes in for the 7th. The guy comes in for the 8th. Chapman comes in for the 9th. Everyone goes home happy.
You
When
could do that every
Bernardino
day. You could do that every day, right?
when Bernardino pitches 3 out of 4 games, you know you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Things aren't going very
He,
well.
he comes in the fourth or fifth inning.
Yeah,
That's
he does that.
when you say everyday Bernie.
Oh, that poor guy. But look, Corey, I mean, of course, winning makes the manager look good, but I feel like Corey has managed very well in this 10-game winning streak.
You know what pisses me off about Cora,
Devers
though?
helped it.
We could be 4 games up ahead of where we are now if he had taken things seriously earlier in the season. He's doing okay now. But people are saying, "Oh, look, his philosophy." No, he left. He left a lot of stake on the table. Early in the season, which would look sweet on the record right now.
Timmy, I think it's now the results are in. It was the Devers situation. It was
Yeah. I
Henry
mean,
and
Devers. You
Fresno
think that
going
was
to
the whole
Kansas
thing?
City.
You think Devers was dragging the whole team down?
He was.
No, I think it bothered Cora to the extent it tied his hands, and now he's a baseball manager. And this run since Devers has been gone, the lineup has changed every day. He's substituting freely, pinch hitters, defensive substitutions. It looks like he's managing in the playoffs right
So you
now.
think he was managing the whole team around Devers?
No, I just don't think he was managing the way he could have been when Devers was here, because you had to pencil him in. He had to be second, and he had to be the DH.
He was
And now that you've freed him up, and he's really freewheeling right now. He's been making lots and lots of moves that he never would have made earlier in the season.
That does make sense, Joe.
Was Devers telling the Cora to fuck off every time he walked by his locker room?
Yeah, I think Joe's right. I think it just, I said it earlier, it cast a pall over the whole team. He had to put him in as a second, hit second or third. He can't move on the bases. I mean, he was hitting well, but it wasn't like an MVP kind of season. Addition by subtraction.
Yeah.
Well, don't get me wrong. We certainly could use the middle of the lineup hitter. That
Plenty of money, guys.
But
this, I don't want to hear about money at this break, at this deadline.
His bat wasn't worth all the damage that he did around it.
Yeah. Well,
it wasn't
Russ,
worth the
don't you
price.
think if it's the Bregman extension, that's where you're spending that money?
But that, again, don't let them gaslight you, Joe.
Yeah.
There's no salary cap, so you can sign Bregman and still go get another superstar. That's
and
what
I think
teams
that
do.
they've reset their status on the tax.
Yes, they're like 20th in salary, and even with Bregman, it would only move them to 12th.
Just all the money they banked from the last 3 years.
Right.
But when you have a guy like Rafaela who's playing in an all-star level,
right,
$6.5 million a year, and he should be paid $25 million. You take that $19 million and you carry it over to another player. When you have Mayer and Anthony playing for take that money,
playing
carry it over.
They got a third of that lineup playing for peanuts.
They could sign 2 guys right now at $30 million a year, and they wouldn't blink. That's what kind of situation they're in as far as these young players who are playing for peanuts.
Well, wasn't that what John Henry's plan was when they brought these guys up? Then he could open the wallet.
Yeah. Oh, I expect another big-time free agent to come through that.
But I think that's for the off season. For right now, you'll take on any salary that comes your way, though, I would think.
All right, we're going to do the other sports, but I don't want to make you guys nauseous. But I had heard, I think maybe from Cotillo, that they had spoken to the Twins in the offseason for Ryan, and Cassis was involved, and they balked at it.
Oh. Why do you got to make me mad like that?
How's that possible? Cassis is worth literally nothing now. He's done. He's not obviously in the present or the future. He's nothing. And you could have got the Ryan. Can you imagine what the staff would look like with Ryan and Crochet on top of it?
Well, don't the Twins kind of want to get rid of Ryan? Don't they owe him money?
No, he's
no, he signed through 2027.
arbitration. Yeah, I mean, look, I'm all for them going for it. All right, we got to go talk to the Patriots. Just so you know, I don't know if you guys could feel the earth rumbling a little bit, but the Messiah has arrived in camp. I could feel it. You could just feel the air just seemed a little sweeter. He's here 6 days early because he is the leader of this team, and he's going to take control of everything, and there's no worries. I can't wait to prediction time because the number just keeps on increasing.
I'm gonna look up Vegas right now.
Russell,
Last I saw it was 8.5 still.
how excited are you about the Messiah? Come on.
I'm very excited. Look, I think I think he could be a top five quarterback in NFL. Maybe not this year, but another couple of years.
Yeah.
He's got to stay healthy, and but I don't think there's any. I think you know his mentally he's there. He's what you want in a quarterback, right? And everyone loves the kid. Everybody does. So there's nothing holding him back other than stay healthy, keep your head on straight.
Joe, Mike Vrabel's basically here because Drake May plays quarterback for the Patriots. Would you agree?
Oh, I'm sure that went into his consideration. You don't want to become a head coach at a place with no quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, you that's like playing with one hand tied behind your back. So
It feels like Vrabel never talks about Drake the Messiah because that's the least of his worries.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Right. Doesn't want to build
he's
them up
always
too much
talking
either,
about
right?
those wide receivers,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Quickly?
problem children.
How quickly does those fine wide receivers that we drafted see the door?
That's a
Well,
crowded
yeah,
room. That's a crowded
sure
room.
is. Polka's going to have to. I don't think Baker will make the team, and Polka's going to. He may need to really, really show out just to make the team because Vrabel doesn't care.
No,
It's
Even
not his
guys like
problem.
Pop Douglas will have to fight for a position. I
I
mean,
think that's
they
right.
don't have anything.
Yeah, I think Vrabel is
Diggs has got it made, and the Williams kid being the draft pick, he's got it made. But after that,
Collins hasn't made two.
I think
Collins will
after
make the
that,
team.
you get
Patriots are still eight and a half.
yeah, I think Boudet makes the team probably as long as he.
Maybe he could get traded though too.
yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't get much from him, right?
Butte was their best wideout last year.
You got a fifth round pick, sixth round pick for him. I mean, if you're trying to thin the room out, you could do that. No one else is. You're not going to get anything for Polk, right, Joe?
No, you're not
You
going to
tried
get
to trade him
anything
right
for,
now.
you're not going to get anything for any of them. You wouldn't get anything for Hollins. You wouldn't get any. You might not get much. What would you get? A six for Diggs? You know,
Well, yeah, obviously, I don't
Back
even
on
know if you can. When you
ACL.
sign them as free agents, I don't think you can trade them for a certain period of time. I don't think
You
that's
can't.
Yeah. All right, Timmy, what's your biggest worry coming into camp? What position?
A little worried about running back. I mean, well, no, actually, we got that new draft pick, so that should solidify that a little bit. You know, hopefully Diggs does what he's going to do, but we've just been so atrocious in the wide receiver department. I'm hoping for big improvement in wide receiver. Because we have Drake May. Let's give him someone to throw to. Let these wide receivers need to start stepping up and producing.
Russell, this is the same conversation and the same answer Timmy gave probably from last year too. We cannot figure out the wide receiver position.
We haven't been able to. If this kid Williams hits, it's going to be cause for a celebration, right? Because they haven't hit at a wide receiver since what, Edelman? Did they
Let's
draft it?
let's get on the list, right? I mean, it's endless. The
Right.
list.
So
When's the last time they drafted a wide receiver that
Mitchell,
was any good?
that but
Branch?
he got hurt and he was out.
Was it Deion Branch?
well, the kid Mitchell, who played that 1 year,
Yeah.
was
But
very
then
good.
he
but
got hurt. He
bum
was
knees.
really good. He had the best.
Yeah.
He had the best rookie stats of anyone in the
Yeah.
history of the franchise.
I guess Jacoby Myers
Yeah.
is good, and we just got rid of him for.
Yeah, he was, and he didn't really have anyone
Look,
throwing to him
we
either.
lately we can't draft them, we can't develop them, we can't trade for them. we can't sign him for free agency. Like they haven't done anything right on the wide receiver front.
Yeah.
We turn people who work good wide receivers into below
To
mediocre
bad
wide
ones.
receivers.
Yeah,
And, and,
that's
and Tim,
exactly right.
you said you're not worried about the running back room because the second round pick, he hasn't signed, and it doesn't look like he's going to sign.
What?
The NFL and all the second round picks are in like a work situation. The first two second round picks signed and got guaranteed money. See, second round picks have never gotten guaranteed money before.
So they set a
Whole
precedent.
contract. And so every second round pick after the Browns has not signed because they all want
Boy, the other owners must be so fucking pissed at the Browns right now for doing
no,
that.
no.
Right?
Whoever had the first pick did it first, and then the
Or
Browns.
whoever it was, like threw a grenade into the party.
And so
right?
the
Yeah,
NFL
screw
owners,
those NFL teams. They're making billions of dollars.
Oh, I know,
Pay the
but
freaking
they're
players.
spoiled, man. Every other sport, you don't get to do this. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Yeah, the NFL
These guys put their body on. Like, I don't blame them for wanting the money. I don't at all. That
No.
kid could blow his ACL in the first game, and now just throw him on the pile of bodies of discarded NFL running backs.
Hey, these guys are now they're literally signing contracts, pro contracts in college now with the teams, with the colleges, and they're gonna take some of these guys are gonna take pay cuts going into the NFL.
Oh, Sanders did, right? Deshaun Sanders there.
Shadon, yeah, right. But I'm talking
Shadon?
about just like the mid-level guys, like offensive linemen. An offensive lineman signed like a 3-year deal for like $10 million with like Texas Tech. I mean, this is happening, boys. College football is a
And it's
joke now.
even the real money is, if you can get your own sponsors, like a lot of shows will buy airtime and then sell their own advertising. If you can get your own sponsor, that's separate and above and beyond what you're getting from
Yeah,
the
I heard that kid
That's when
Kendall
you
at
get
B-
the 10 million a year.
Kendall at BC was making almost $1 million. I heard that. I don't know how true it is, but is he making $1 million with an NFL team this year? I mean, what's the starting pay for like a second, third round draft pick? The typical
A couple million.
couple of million a year. Okay.
But if you also get a contract with, so you can sell your image, your name, what is it, NFI, name, face, and image.
Now, once
Cooper
they're
Flag made
drafted,
$28 million last year.
wait, could they once they're drafted? Say that again.
Cooper Flag made $28 million at Duke. 28 million. That's how much he made.
So once you're drafted, you can't go back and play a year of college, right?
No, you can't. No, once you go.
I mean, even if you have 2 years of eligibility left, right? That's
Yeah,
it.
you're out. Yeah, you're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the
Colleges might change that though.
The NFL
So,
said,
why they it's not an indentured servitude country, right? I mean, how can they legally do that? I mean,
It's
that might
same
be the
as-
next thing that goes to court, right? I mean,
Same
these
as
people
the
should be
draft.
able, they should be free to do whatever's best for them.
well, yeah. I mean, obviously they thought about challenging the draft process, and each league.
That's but they get away with the draft because it was collectively bargained with
Yeah.
the union.
Yeah, but that's going to change at some point. But because the
Yeah,
NCAA
why should you go play in Oakland when you don't want to play in Oakland? Say you want to stay on the East Coast, or if you're a Southerner, you want to play in Houston. You don't want to play in New England.
Yeah, it's going to change.
I mean, there has to be, for the good of the league, there has to be, that first round pick and things like that for the worst teams, or else, I mean, that's for the collective good, I think. But it seems like, if somebody doesn't get the contract they want in the pros, they should be able to go back to college. I don't know.
Yeah, well, who knows what's going to happen? But things are changing very,
Yeah,
very.
well, it is a dynamic situation, and that might come about, Tim.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna go
And
to
colleges would be happy to have him back, I'm sure.
Yeah.
this breaking news from the Grandstanders live desk. Damon Lillard did not sign with the Celtics for minimum. He signed a big deal with Portland. I mean, what is it? Like a 3-year, $42 million deal? Is that what I saw?
Yeah, like 15 a year, 3 years, 45-ish or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which and Celtics fans online are saying, "Oh my God, he went for the money." Yeah, of course.
Well, that's where he lives. That's
Would
where
you
his
would you rather
family
pay
is.
Where his family is. Yeah.
700,000 or 15 million? I mean, really?
Yeah.
Who's doing? Sometimes we have just delusional thoughts about our area, like how
It's like
people.
3 generations of your family having money just for that one contract.
But
You know what I mean?
that guy is going to end up making over $500 million in his career, I think.
Good for him.
I mean,
Yeah. Yeah. He hit it on every level.
he really has. Look, I didn't think really he's not a guy we really needed at this point. Do we really need to have
It would have been
having
interesting. It would have made next year like a little bit more interesting, just having him. But it's not a big deal. I think it's a
Nice
marginal.
guard depth with him and Pritchard coming off the bench and just lighting up the score.
Well, guys, I'm making a
Off
prediction.
the bench. Pritchard off the bench. Isn't Pritchard going to be on the court now?
Oh,
No,
maybe
the
it's
year
gonna be
after
Simons
next.
and White.
Jason
Who
Tatum's
get-
going
Oh,
to
I
be.
don't know about that, Joe. They may start Pritchard. I'm not sure who they'll
I'd,
start.
I'd prefer to see PP start, but maybe that's just because I'm used to him.
Who did you say with White, Joe?
Simons, Anthony
Simons.
Simons.
But rumors
The
are
guy
they're
they got for
trying to
Holiday.
trade him. This is what's going to happen. January 1st, we'll celebrate the new year, and then probably January 3rd, Jason Tatum will play his first game in the Boston Celtics this season. He's already walking. The guy he's a special individual, and he's so
Yeah.
dedicated to his craft. This guy is going to rehab and be back on the court quicker than anyone could imagine.
You could be right. You could be right. I think in the end, we can sit here and say, "Oh, give him the year," or whatever. I think the fact is that he's going to play when he's ready to play. When they tell him you can go out and play safely, he's going to go out and play. I can't begrudge him that.
I
That's
don't
what he
see
does
him-
for a living.
I don't see him coming back. If he comes back in March or April, that's going to be you're going into the playoffs and people are playing with an intensity that a rehabbing guy doesn't want to be up against.
Look, Russell, you talk about this for the last few years that Jaylen Brown might want to have his own team. Well, Jaylen Brown last week said, I don't know if you guys heard this comment, he said that he's looking forward to this season because he wants to see how he can carry a team because we've always been loaded before then, and he really couldn't do that. So you nailed it, Russell.
Watch out what you ask for, though. You know.
Yeah.
He wants he thinks this is his own team now.
Yeah. To me, the path here is pretty clear. Like he's gonna play. He's gonna be very high usage rate. He's gonna be the lead guy this year, and then I think they'll give it a shot when Tatum gets back and say, "Can we win another one with these two guys at the top of their game?" And if they don't, I think that's probably when Brown says, "Okay," or the Celtics and Brown basically say it's time to go. Like I should. The Celtics will need him to move on to get some assets back, and he may at that point in time say, "I want to be the guy somewhere else."
With Tatum and Brown leading this team, are we back to just hopefully make it to the conference championship?
You
I mean, because we had a lot of luxury pieces around, surrounding them. Hopefully, we can get, in Brad we trust to rebuild this team properly.
okay. Well,
we need some size. We lost three centers, and we lost our biggest wing in Tatum. He's 6'10".
Who's going to be getting the
He's your
rebounds?
power forward. Yeah, I mean, you got a very small team. What is Brown 6'6"? It's hard to have your team leader at 6'6".
well, the Nuggets won with 2 stars. So so the answer to me is
Geez, Jokic is better than any 2 guys including Tatum on the Celtics.
I mean, who's the 3rd star? Who is the 3rd star? Obviously, he's not on the team. How do you go get that guy if you say you need 3 guys?
You need size.
Well, here's the thing, though, guys. That is not you don't I don't it's not positive you necessarily need three top dog guys. If you have two top dog guys and a bunch of really, really good players, that seems to be where this thing is going more.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, she had Shea and Jay Will, right? Holmgren was a distant third, right? He played well, but he wasn't
Yeah.
anywhere near close to those guys. You look at Indiana, they didn't have a big three. They had Halliburton and just a whole bunch
Like
of
three,
guys
Lot
who
of
three or
good
they were.
four,
role
three or
players.
four guys of White's capability. You know.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, Timmy. Yeah.
So the two Jays and Derek White can they
Yeah, but we
contribute
still
to-
need the role players at the
You have
size
to have really
position.
good role
I think
players.
we need a
That's
couple
right,
more
Joe.
like guys of White's caliber on the whether they be
Yeah.
7 feet tall
Yeah.
or whatever. You know what I?
Right.
It would
No,
be
we
nice
need
to get a
7
couple of
footers.
7-footers in there. I'll tell you that.
So Al
Yeah.
they thought Al was going to be signing with the Warriors. He didn't do that. It continues on. I think he's going to retire. So give me Joe. What's your prediction? Where does Al go?
Well, that might be so. He just had his 6 kids, so he might say time to stay home and take care of the kids.
Did Brad come out and say he's not back?
He said he's
No.
Said
probably
it's
not
very
coming.
unlikely. Yeah.
I mean,
Russell?
it's Al. Walk away.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. Well, they said we made him an offer. He turned it down. So he's
But why
probably
why would you walk away though? I mean, I guess my question is though, Tim, if
Because you have 6 kids.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like
Maybe he
if
doesn't
someone's
want to go
gonna pay
home.
you,
Maybe he doesn't want to go
I know,
home.
Timmy, but if someone's gonna pay you, $8, $10 million to pay 25 minutes a night on a good basketball team, and
And
you can
only
still
every
do
other
it.
night, too.
How much does Al have in the bank, right? I mean,
Oh,
you
he
know.
paid
But
over.
like it's still $10 million.
I don't know.
Like
If
He probably
I
makes
know,
more than
but
that
if
in
if I
interest
have
every
if
year
I have
now.
200 million in the bank, am I gonna walk out with a newborn at home and 5 running around the house? Maybe I'd want to. I don't know. Maybe that's a good reason
that's
to
the
do
other thing.
it.
Yeah.
That's the other thing.
But
I think
I don't know, man. Me myself, I'd be like, okay, I got my $300 million for another year. With waning skills, and my knees are killing me. Thank you very much.
As
Yeah,
long as he doesn't go to the Lakers, I'm fine.
I think it's Russell. I just think is you're hard into it, and remember, you're an older guy, and it's tough to have certain peers on the team when these guys are 19, 20
Yeah,
years.
but I guess my point is going to that's not his problem going to Golden State. He's playing with Steph. He's
Jimmy
playing with Jimmy
Butler,
Butler, Draymond
Draymond
Green. Like
Green.
I get that. Like I thought he played really well last year. He's got something left in the tank. He's not over the hill.
Okay, Russ, I'll give you this. If it's a really good situation
Yeah.
for him, like I'm not going to some sub 500
No.
team. If it's a really
No,
good
and
situation and I'm just
right,
a piece to
right.
possibly like really doing well, okay,
That's
and they're
right.
going to give me 15 million bucks or whatever,
Yeah.
then I do it. But it has to be the perfect situation.
All right,
Yeah.
does Al
I
get
think
his number retired? We'll
No.
start with Timmy.
Just to retired everybody else's. Uh, he gave a lot to this team. He's been a solid player. In my book, he hasn't reached that level. I mean, he is he Robert Parrish? Is he Kevin McHale? Is he Dennis
Cedric
Johnson?
Maxwell.
No.
He said, I think he could be Cedric Maxwell.
Yeah.
Well, Cedric Maxwell played every night. Al was a part-time player even when he
No.
played here.
No,
He
wasn't.
played for 4 different teams, maybe 5 different teams now.
Oh, Joe, does he get his number retired?
No.
Russell?
he's going to go to the Hall of Fame. I'm just not sure
Yes,
he'll get his
I'll
number
give him
retired
that.
because he won 2 college championships and those count. So I don't know. It's a borderline case. I don't feel super strongly about it.
No, all right. Wow.
Love me some Al, but I don't know if he's that.
I think he's going to get. Yeah, I think he should get his number retired. I think.
Well, not if he signs another contract, it's definitely no, he can't, because he'll have left twice of his own accord.
I know. It would be iffy, but
He left twice of his own accord.
He abandoned us Bostonians.
We
How dare
hate
you?
that. You're dead to
Not
us.
just
How
once,
dare
but
you?
twice.
That's Timmy.
Don't you know what we are?
You just, yep, you died to us. All right,
You're dead to me.
we gotta go to the Bruins, and is it just Tanksville? I mean, are they even trying to hide it now? It sounds like they got guys, they signed guys who are as bad as they possibly could get.
Timmy, save that October 21st date. That's the day Marchand comes back.
Is it? Well, I'll put that up on StubHub right now.
Oh, I don't even think we talked about it. Marchand signing a 6-year deal is just insane.
What? I didn't even hear this.
Yes, for big money too. Florida's
much?
nuts.
How much?
How much is
There's
it?
most of it. It's not all guaranteed, but there's team
It was a
options.
6-year deal, right?
Like how much a
I
year?
thought it was only 4.
No, I think it's 6.
Let me look it up.
No, I'm pretty sure I saw 6.
But
I think it's
it's
6.
for
I
a
think
lot more
Scotty
money than I thought he
basically-
would get. A lot more.
I think they signed them a 6-year contract knowing that the last 3 years they were write-offs, right? Like that's what that is. You know, they must be willing to just eat those last 3 years.
6-year contract.
How much?
Hold on. It's not saying. Maybe it'll Puckpedia here.
But
Cap hit
October
5.25 million. Sorry, guys. Signed a 6-year, $31.5 million contract per season, making Marchand in 30-31. He'll be an unrestricted free agent.
30-31. You gotta be, how old would he be? 87?
How old is he? He's 37.
So
so
he's,
he'll be in his 40s.
He'll be
His last-
43. 43
he's gonna
years
be,
old.
he's gonna be ripping tickets and shaking hands when they come into the
He'll have
arena.
Johnny Pesky's old job.
You know, if he got naked in front of you, his body must look like a zipper board. You know what I mean? All the surgeries he's had.
Both hips already done.
Oh my! I can't. What did the Bruins offer him 3 years?
Right, but if you take that down to 3
No,
years, 10
I
million,
think they only offered him 2.
but if you broke that down, 3 years, 10 million a year, probably has 3 good years left, right?
But he wanted something like 8 or 9 a year from the Bruins. That's what they'd stick him.
For how long? I wonder.
I forget what it was, but they.
I would have done 2 or 3, 8 or 9 a year. I would have. But he didn't look like he rejuvenated himself.
He didn't play well for the Bruins.
He wasn't doing here what he did there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know, he said he needed time to get back into the flow again.
The only time I saw him play well the last 2 years was when he played for Team Canada there. Then he was like a whirlwind again.
Hockey is one sport where it really helps to have good players around you.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it frees you up to do a lot of things.
does he get his number retired if he spends 6 years with the Florida Panthers?
I want Marchand's number retired.
100%. Absolutely will get it retired.
He's a god in this town.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you imagine
just throw
the
his name in
video
Marchand.
montage when he comes back? It'll be
Oh,
a standing ovation for.
He's a Bruin of Bruins, you know?
Yep.
This guy's a Bruin.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was surprised that he signed that. They must really
Go
love
to the
Florida.
beach after practice every day. I mean, you know.
That's what he said. He said,
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's saying, it's beautiful weather every day. Don't have to freeze my.
You know, you open that door to go out at the Causeway Street, that 30-mile-an-hour, 10-degree wind hits you. You're like, fuck. I'll tell you, I was never so cold. I got off the plane from Florida. It wasn't this year, last year. And that, the door opens at Logan where you go out on to get picked up, And I had like a little pullover on or something. And that freaking wind hit me.
I know, man.
I'm like, I'm not in Kansas anymore, like, take me back to Florida, man. Yeah.
But when we used to do the Greatest Bar Show, and then we try to walk back to the car, oh my God, it would be
Freezing.
miserable. So
My memory of the Greatest Bar was I was walking up the street from my car, and a van opened up, and like 10 of the prettiest girls in miniskirts get out of that van.
I know.
Walking somewhere, I don't know, but where are they going?
They're always going into that club next to the greatest.
Oh my
dark
God!
one.
The one was prettier than the next one. It was crazy.
So does Sweeney have a fascination with local players because all he does is pick up local guys?
Hey, listen, I would have
Yeah.
grabbed that kid in the heart. I couldn't believe he was there.
So is he legit? Why did he slide from being the
I think
consensus
other
one
teams
to
in front of us had needs, you know, like they had needs for, that these other guys must have fit better into
Yeah.
what they needed. But
I think
I'm
he
sure the
also
Bruins
wasn't
were
quite as
shocked. Go ahead, Sir Russ.
yeah. I think he wasn't quite as dominant at BC his first year as people thought. And Timmy, he's also 5'10", right? He was 100 and whatever, 80 pounds. So,
Yeah.
there you got to wonder, is he going to be as durable as, some of these other guys who are 6'3", 225,
Yeah, he had some studs he was playing with the BC 2 years ago. Absolute freaking
how would you compare
studs.
him? How would you compare him skill set wise to me to
You know,
players that we've had in the
I've
past?
watched him play a little, not a ton. He's a good player. You know what I mean? He's a solid top six guy for the next 10 years. The Bruins were probably falling over themselves when they thought he was still there.
What's
Timmy,
the
you said
comp?
it
Like
2 months ago. You were
Milton?
like, I hope the kid Hagens drops, right? And we were like,
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like he's gonna. You said it 2 months ago.
I mean, the proof will be in the pudding. Let's see what happens. But from everything that he's done and we've seen, this kid's a good player.
Well, Tankathon had him being the number one pick the whole year.
Yeah, I think he wasn't playing with. I didn't think he had as much to work with this year at BC that he had. He had some absolute freaks on that team 2 years ago. You know,
Well, that's going to be exciting. You guys think? Final question: will he play opening night for the Boston Bruins?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, who's better than him?
Well, that's
You
it,
know?
right? I mean, he's not going back to BC, right?
Oh, he is. Yeah, I mean, if he
Oh, yeah, yeah. I think he is going back to
you go back
BC.
to BC,
Yeah.
if he doesn't make the Bruins, he's not going to the AHL. He's going back to BC for another year.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised to see him at BC for another year. It's probably the right thing to do. You got to thicken up a little bit, get a man body.
Yeah, get him in the weight room, put an extra 10, 15 pounds on him.
Will the fans demand that he plays this year?
I don't think it matters what the fans think this year. I think they got to rebuild. They got to do what's right.
Right. All right. Well, that's our show for now. I want to thank the fellas. Please check us out on our website at thegrandstanders.com and tune again next Thursday night. We're back at 7 o'clock for another edition of Grandstanders Live. I'm your host, Scott Kerman. Have a great and happy night.